Hello everyone, my name is Jade Darling and I'm experiencing burnout right now. Yes, while I seem unencumbered by negativity or the college process, I'm currently experiencing burnout and I don't exactly know how to fix it. So during this whole senior year, I've been experiencing a lot of different new opportunities and I've taken advantage of every single one of them, especially being able to stand here right now. I see my peers growing in their own ways and I'm becoming more active in my community. However, it's kind of difficult, but I'm still getting myself together, I'm learning from failure, and I'm truly enjoying my senior year. And I told myself at the beginning of the first 4 months of the year, this is my year, and I worked diligently for 4 months without even thinking about it. So during winter break, I had a 10-page paper to work on, and so my teacher that I had this 10-page paper for is in the audience right now. And let me tell you, Percy Shelley is a very difficult poet, and I highly recommend his work because he is a great poet, but his work is very intense. So I completed my 8-page paper and 21 college supplements during my winter break. And after I was done, I thought of it as a relief. I was a little bit more stressed than usual, but I thought nothing of it. And by the end of the break, I told myself I was done. However, I didn't realize how done I really was until I came back to school and the sight of words on a page made me want to burst into tears. I didn't want to do any work. I couldn't even process information. The only thing I can truly imagine is dust weeds rolling in my brain, but anything else became a separate thought. And I didn't know what to do. So I thought, after arguing with myself, I truly recognized my burnout. Actually, hold on, before I get ahead of myself, raise your hand if you know what burnout is. Okay. So burnout is if you do not know what burnout is or actually wish to revise your definition, burnout is the prolonged exhaustion emotionally, physically, and mentally due to prolonged amounts of stress. So the stress can go on for weeks, but it can typically come from months or even years without actually giving yourself a break in the 3 different categories. Mentally, you can't really focus or concentrate even on your leisure activities you love to do. Physically, you are exhausted and actually fall ill more often than you normally would. And emotionally, you are sensitive to criticism. You wouldn't typically accept criticism very well, but this moment, it would feel truly sensitive to you. And I thought of it as a moment to think about how truly it did affect me. So I wanted to think about how it didn't revolve around me, because burnout is something that doesn't just end in a day, sadly. And it does take new routine and new ways of doing things. So I wondered, it couldn't just be me. Not everything is always just about one person. It can extend to other people. So I observed my peers, and I noticed a few things. Some were completely unaffected by the stress of life and were living their life as they wanted to. Some were on the brink of exploding, and most were in the middle, kind of hiding any forms of distress that they may have in their life, which kind of frightened me. And in the moment, I thought I needed to research it. I needed to find some form of information and bring it back to my school, maybe learn something myself, but kind of share it with my community so then they can recognize the situation. But I didn't find any data at all. Most teens are limited to research on stress, just the little things of stress, while burnout itself is given more to corporate workers, nurses, if you heard in the history, or doctors or college students, but they're actually on the medical track, so they kind of fall in that medical situation of having a more intense job. However, depression rates have risen 63% from 2013 to 2018. And the American Psychological Association found that teen stress levels is 150% higher than in adults. So they even said that it is alarming that teen stress level is so similar to that of an adult's. Even more concerning is that they underestimate the physical and mental harm that it does to them. So pretty much I'm getting at, this is another situation where it's an issue that no one has done anything about, but it is relevant. So I have kind of an idea, because I don't think burnout can actually be fixed, at least personally. I think it does differ from each person. I think it goes on how we are as teens in this generation. Half the generation, give or take, is either a traditional teenager, so they take advantage more academically, they're not consumed by technology, and they want to grow into some form of like traditional career. Or they're trendy. They're teens that are a part of the media lifestyle, they have brand deals, and they are seeing what a lot of social media portrays to be the current teen. However, these teenagers are all experiencing the same amount of stress as the generation before and the generation that soon will be after. So it should be all the same. However, there's nothing being done. So I want everyone to look around and see the people around you, because these people are people that can actually help you in your burnout. I want teenagers to recognize that you need to be honest about your feelings. You really do. The adults had mentors in helping them to think about what they wanted. So teens are able and entitled to have that same amount. And adults, teens' emotions are not something that's a teenage thing. Sadly, that stereotype is one that I'm going to have to debunk, because they are just experiencing life. That's how life is. So I want all the adults, before you leave, to find a teen and ask them how their day is. And be honest about it. And teens, return that honesty with truly how your day is, because if you don't reflect on that, you may not realize how stressful your life is. So, but adults, if they do give you a generic response we are taught during small talk, that is okay. If they do explode and give some form of outrageous response that is truly just a reflection of their burnout, that is also important, because that can actually help the teen understand themselves better. And teenagers, don't feel that detached from adults. Adults aren't that scary. They're honestly experiencing the same thing. They've had experienced the same thing. And you can feel the same as them. The only difference is you are different ages. So, after all of this experience, and this most jarring experience overall, I've learned at least one thing. We need to listen to each other. We're all our own cure, and we don't actually need data or research or millions of dollars to solve something that's inner within. So, my name is Jade Darling. I'm currently experiencing burnout, but I know how you can cure it. You just have to listen. Thank you.